what, and where. Okay? We get from the audience a suggestion of who, a suggestion of where. Okay? Once we get a suggestion of where and who, we have to fill out those suggestions. It's not like the who has been created because somebody says, you're two brothers on a beach in Jamaica or Bermuda. The who has been suggested. That's what they say, suggestion. We have to fill it out. So there are techniques of creating the who and the where. The what is what comes out. What came out in the scene in lesson 1 was that we had a who on the beach, two brothers. What came out, the what that came out was these two brothers seeing some girls walking by, having some beers and some, what was it, Braunschweiger, anyway, grilled chips and salami, okay? Basically some guys pigging out on the beach, being gross guys like guys can be, okay? It's amazing. Why do they even let them live? I don't know. Anyway, so, macho dudes on the beach, oh boy. Okay, so that's a what. The what came out of the who and where. We were only given a who and a where. Right now, what we're going to look at is how to fill out the who and how to fill out the where. And the filling out the who means we are going to learn how to create characters. And filling out the where means we're going to learn about creating objects and locations. Okay? So to start with, let's look at a little bit, let's look at objects first. Okay? So to do this, we're going to do a walk. So I want everybody up in a circle here, and we're going to get a feeling of different atmospheres that you can move through. Let's just kind of walk around a circle here. Just walking in, I guess just counterclockwise, in a circle. Okay? Now I'd like you to get a feeling of moving through space, as if space was a substance, as if it has reality. It has something you can get your hands on, you can feel it. You're moving through another dimension. There's time, there's space. I'd like you to be aware of the space you move through now. Let's move through space as if it was a substance. The substance right now is neutral. It's just right there. You feel your body is kind of penetrating space. Imagine if you left like a vapor trail behind your body. The shape that would make through space. Imagine now that your body is penetrating through space and creating a hollowness behind you. Okay? It's creating a hollowness behind you. I want you to be aware of the movements that you make for the next few steps. At some point I'll ask you to stop and recreate the movements you made by moving back to the hollowness that you created through space. We'll just go backwards, okay? So we'll take a few steps. Be aware of how you move through space, and then I'll say reverse. Reverse. You've already carved out this space. Go back into the space that you carved. And now stop. Okay? Now let's move ahead again. Now let's imagine that this space substance has a certain quality. Let's imagine that the quality of the space substance is very thick. Is that actually as if you have to push your way through, called molding, pushing your way through the space. Let's push our way through. You gotta push through the space. This should actually be physically somewhat difficult. You have to move your muscles through it, push through it, okay? Getting through space. Okay, come to rest. Now the space is normal again. Let's walk to it. Okay? Now let's say we go into another world where the space takes on another quality. And the quality is going to become floating. It's going to be floating. You're going to float through space. It's going to buoy you up. All of a sudden that space substance is buoying you up. You feel that? Not just with your arms, but with your whole body. You're being buoyed up. Can we move a little faster in this circle here? Buoyed up. void up in space. Okay, good. Okay, back to normal space. Walk through normal space. Okay, now this will take a little more room, but let's go into a new space, a space where you're soaring. You're soaring to space. It just automatically soars you to it. You're big, you're enormously big, you're soaring to space. Okay, good. Good, now let's come around to rest. Okay, now the space is kind of normal again. Let's spread out just a little. Now, feel again just a little movement through space. Where's the space, okay? This is called space substance. Now what I'd like you to do is reach out into this space substance and find an object in the substance. Find an object. An object will have 3 dimensions. You won't pick up a pencil like this. There's no pencil there. You'll pick up a pencil like this. Okay? A pencil has weight. It has length. It has dimension. Okay? Okay, this pencil has some reality, just a pencil in space substance. Okay? Let me put this pencil on the table. I'll show. Okay? Boom. Good. Now I've got rid of that. So what I'd like you to do is just reach out into space substance, find an object, and examine the object. Go ahead. Find it in the space substance. Okay? Feel the weight of the object. Okay? Move it around a little. And take it back and stick it on a shelf, your shelf, behind you. Okay? Now, let's look out here again. Let's find another object in the space substance. Find the object. Okay, stick that object up on your shelf. Okay, good. This is the way to deal with objects. Give an object reality, or find it in the space substance. The difference between a pencil with no, so you just kind of imaginary pick up, pencil. And the pencil, space substance, is different. Can you feel the difference here in these 2 objects? Okay? It's a good feeling if there's an object here. Okay? So, anyway. And also, you want your shelf to be on the same level every time you turn around. Okay, you don't want like a moving shelf, So, when you find an imaginary object, it's different than creating one out of your head. You actually find it there. And this is how we create realities on stage. So I've actually done 2 things here. I've shown you a little bit about movement in space, which has to do with creating character, and I've also showed you a little bit about finding objects, which has to do with creating realities. So let's go back to this walking around, and I'll add a couple other elements, and we'll pull this all together. To start with, we move through space, and the space is a normal space, so you can feel yourself moving through it. Now I'd like you to try a kind of movement in this space. There's 2 basic kinds of movement. There's legato and staccato. Legato is smooth and flowing. Staccato moves in little increments, like a robot or something. Let's try a normal walk, but it's staccato. That means that you walk only in chunks, in bits. You move only, every move is incremental, so it's, okay? Let's do a staccato walk. Okay, now back to normal walk. Now rest. Now we'll do what's called legato walk. This is close to what we normally do, but let's emphasize. Legato is smooth. Every motion flows from the previous motion. We go through space, just totally legato. So here we go. Go ahead. Smooth. Okay? Smooth. Everything is smooth and flows. Your whole body, just like it's oiled. Your whole body is covered with oil and oil inside and out. Or ghee, whatever it is. Butter, I don't know. A1 tanning oil? No. Okay. Copper tone. Good. Now, let's combine here. Let's have an atmosphere or a space substance that is a particular kind and a rhythm. These are called rhythms. Let's take a rhythm and a space substance and combine them. a space substance quality. So the space, let's say the space is floating, and your rhythm is staccato. When floating space substance and staccato, so it's going to be, okay, go for it. Okay. Okay, now keep doing this. Now while you're doing this, do you get a feeling of a kind of person that would walk like this or act like this? If you do, speak it out.
An epileptic.
A what? Epileptic?
Hey, dude.
A dude? Hey dude? Like a really cool dude?
Someone
A
who's
child?
inebriated.
Inebriated person?
First learning to walk.
A child learning to walk. Okay, good. Back to normal? Now, let's try the other thing. Let's try legato molding through the thick space substance, but legato. So, you got to push through, but your movements are smooth. Moving, pushing through. Okay, the power that it takes, how smooth you are getting through that space. Your whole body having to push through space, but you're getting through just fine. Okay? As you do this, do you have any feeling for what kind of a character would move like this?
Synchronized swimmer.
An elephant, a synchronized swimmer,
Ballerina.
but it's for a very thick, okay, good. Your whole body, not just your, feel it, all your body, okay? Okay, for me, I always get a dictator. Someone kind of powerful, but control. Moves in dignity, moves through, okay? Astronaut in space, okay, but that's light. Okay, they're light. Okay, good.
Weightlifter.
Weightlifter? Okay, good. Back to normal now? Normal walk? Now let's go the other way. Let's do staccato, but molding. So it's thick space, but you got to break through it. Okay. While you do this, get any feeling for a kind of character that would be like this?
Real old robot.
Old robot? Cerebral palsy,
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein,
Stuck in a
monster.
swamp.
Stuck in a stump. I mean, stuck in a swamp.
Glad you said that, not me.
Did it on purpose. Okay, good. Let's try the other one. One final possibility is that we're going to do legato floating. Pretty obvious one. Let's try it. Legato, smooth, and floating. Here we go. Floating. Leslie, she's in a dream state. Wish I were doing this instead of what I was. Okay. Dream. Dream. Floating, buoyed up. Okay. Any idea of a character doing this? An eagle.
Angel. Ballet
Angel.
dancer.
What?
Ballet dancer.
Ballet dancer. Belly dancer. What? Pulsar.
Or ghost.
Ghost. Nice ghost. Okay. This, my friends, is the beginning of who? Creating a who. We want to be able to do a who. We can use these. These are called little tricks in the actor's bag. You can pull our actor's bag. You can pull out a trick. The trick might be, if I give you a character, you might be able to choose a rhythm that goes with them. Okay? Let's try one more thing for characters. Let's talk about, there's a list of things you can do. You can do animal, you can do image, you can do color. Okay? Let me give you a job, and you a profession. You'll tell me an animal that goes with it. Professor.
Owl.
Salesman. Weasel. Weasel. Chipmunk. Okay, tennis player.
Raccoon.
Raccoon. Dog. Okay, wrestler. Snake.
Bear.
Bear. Snake. Okay. Nurse. Deer. Okay. Scientist. Okay, let's see if we can go the other way. Snake. Politician. Okay. Squirrel. Student. Okay. Eel.
Electrician.
Electrician. Cute.
That's really good.
Okay, shocking. The shocking truth comes out. Okay, what kind of an eel? Okay, so we can, you can actually do this on stage. If someone says electrician, you can go eel. It may not be the obvious thing that goes to electrician, but if you get the eel, you're going to be able to go, ooh, let me hit the wiring. I want to fix it. Yeah, I got my stuff. Okay, I'll be right over. Okay, then you're an electrician that's an eel. Now, if someone picks an electrician that's a squirrel, you're gonna go. Oh gosh, all these wires. Okay. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, little squirrel. It doesn't really matter that much. There's some obvious things like owl is a professor, Who was late for class today? Teacher today. I will teach night class. Okay? So you can get character out of an animal. So if you're on stage and you want a character, sometimes you can pick an animal to do it with. We may do a little more animal exercise today to stabilize this for you. We'll see how far we get. But the next thing I want to do is go on to back to objects, creation of objects. So what we're going to do now is an exercise where you create an environment one at a time. You'll be over here in a clump. Come over in a clump, over here. One at a time, you'll get to escape by coming out into an environment, into the space. Move over. Okay, over. Okay, good. Now, you'll come out here into the space where I am, and you will create an environment by handling 3 objects. Using 3 space objects in that environment. And you will define an environment by doing that. You don't have to be obvious. Just use 3 objects of some kind, and possibly we hope you'll communicate the location by using these 3 objects. And I'll go first. Okay? And when you're done with your 3 objects in improv, when you've done the objective, you're off. You're done. There's a famous story about this. Okay, and this happened with, it's Paul Sills, famous actress. What's the famous duet? Okay, I can't remember right now. Anyway, there's a real famous comedy team from the late 50s and early 60s who worked with Paul Sills. And the actress, it'll be there later. The actress was always interviewing the new people trying to get into the troupe, okay? And what she would do is these people would come, they'd try out. She'd give them a tryout. It would go like this. She'd say, okay, your objective is to pick me up in a bar. Come in, try and pick me up and take me home to your place. Okay? That's your objective. So the actor comes in, and she's sitting at the bar. The actor comes in and does the scene. The actor comes in and says, hi. She says, hi. Let's go to your place. If the guy says, fine, walks off with her, he's in the troupe. If the guy says, oh yeah, that's really good, let's have a drink, he's out. Because the objective was accomplished. You're done. Okay, that's just an example. What we do in improv, when you're done, get off. We're playing a game. The buzzer gone, fine. You shoot the basket, fine. You don't need to keep running around through the basket. Then you went up to the next point. Okay, that's just kind of a story to illustrate that. So maybe later in life I'll remember the name of these 2 people there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go out and create 3 objects, and perhaps you'll know what the environment is. When you're done, you can sit in the audience.
Can we figure out what it is?
No, when you're done with your particular three objects, you sit down. What?
When you come in, is it a new thing, or
It's
you
always something new.
interacting with the environment?
No,
or
no,
is it-
that is another form of game. He wants to know if when you come in, you're reacting with the same environment. No, you're creating your own environment.
Are you a person or an animal?
Whatever you like, it's your environment. Okay, so I'll go first.
Are we supposed to guess it?
No, just listening. Watch. Space substance. Every object is a space substance. Good job. Someone wants to sit down. this is what we can actually start a scene this way. Somebody comes out and creates an environment called scene from nothing. Someone comes out and starts whatever. Now here's the situation. For example, with Therese, I didn't know what she was doing at first. Was it a horse? Something? By the end, I thought it was a horse. In the middle, I thought maybe she was doing some skins or something, doing some tanning some hides, or she was putting up a teepee. I don't know, something, but you know, or whatever.
That's stereotyping.
I know that. I knew it. You don't build teepees. You do a long house. Okay, but still, that was what was in my head. So if I come on stage and I go, nice teepee, she has to go, stereotype. No. She goes, yeah, I can't believe these guys made these things. We made log houses. We made long houses. Okay? That way she says yes and no, which is okay. She can say, yeah, the Sioux make these. I just thought I'd try one out. Really, my people make. There's a yes, and yet you can still be yourself. See, that's nice. You say yes to situations, but still bring out your material. Okay, which is fine. But the problem is, you think you got a horse. If I think it's a teepee, you can say, this isn't a teepee, it's a horse. We blew it. Someone has to say yes. If I saw a teepee, then someone's got to say yes to me. Because we're going like this, someone's got to go this way with me. Okay? And if I saw a golf, because you were like this, and I got in too soon, I said, oh, the golf, that golf ball's too little. You go, yeah. Okay? So that's a little trick. Someone's got to say yes. If you made this beautiful cabinet in your mind and somebody comes out and they think it's a horse, it's a horse. The audience may even know that it's a cabinet, but the other person missed it, and they'll love it. If you say, yeah, kind of a horse with drawers. Okay, so the audience is very forgiving. They can't believe you're doing this at all. Okay, and neither can you. So it's okay. So this is the beginning of creating a where. Creating a where. You need to be able to create who and where. And there's tools for doing that. And some of the tools are rhythm, picking an image, and maybe picking an animal for that character, and also creating a where by using objects. And there's two ways to go right now. I like to work more with objects in terms of creating some scenes. I want to do a scene game. And the scene game is called Contact. I want you to try it with me. Okay? Now we're going to do a scene, and I'm going to give him some coaching, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Okay. So give us a location. We're going to do a real short scene.
A wooded hilltop.
What, a wooded hilltop? Yeah, that's fine. And what's our relationship?
Lovers.
I don't mind being lovers, but I want to be loving somebody. I never want to do gay stuff. Okay, I never do gay stuff.
You could be a woman.
Well, no. That's the other thing. In improv, you want to make it simple. It's really acting. It's hard for an audience to believe that number one, it's not hard to believe that people are gay. But personally, I don't like to do it. The second thing is it really there's something in comedy called verisimilitude, which has to do with being somewhat believable to start with, and then the unbelievable happens. If you start with unbelievable, it's not unbelievable that he would be gay, of course. But me?
You both just met the women of your dreams.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just kidding. No, it's more.
Scoutmaster and Brandon.
No, see, that's like a what? So what? I don't mind being lovers, but I want to be in love with somebody else. If that's all right. We can both be lovers and our girlfriends are somewhere else. If that's all right with you. I'm willing to say yes to lovers, but I don't want to. Buddies who are in love with somebody. Okay? Okay, good. Here we go. I really miss her.
I miss Julia.
just like Romeo.
I feel like Romeo.
Well, I think they're coming at 3.
Sure hope so.
Okay, we're done. We'll do the same scene with a little difference. Okay? Same scene, same setup, little different. Okay? I really miss her.
Juliet is so beautiful.
I think they're coming at 3.
I hope so. I really hope so. Let's make something for them.
Okay. We'll be back. That was scene 2. Okay, and then the other thing too, that's from the previous. Okay. Okay. Get this. When I saw her, she was like right here. Okay, right here. I mean, you just can't believe it. She's like my height right there. Okay. You know, it's like.
Listen, Juliet, the thing that's so great about her, she just comes up about like this.
Okay, like right here.
Right there, yeah. It's beautiful. I can just hold her in my arms.
Watch this. Watch this. Now look. I'm reaching out like this. I'm reaching out around her like this. Okay. And just that point, she kind of goes. Watch. She goes. She like faint. Can you believe it? I felt so macho. It's like she
Yeah.
fainted right in my
Yeah.
arms. It was
Really,
great.
really. Juliet, one time she tripped me like this.
Yeah.
That was fun, you know, we were just goofing around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you'd like to know.
Oh,
Okay. 3 scenes. Any comments? Scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Do you know what we did? Scene 1 is just a straight scene. They're all good. Okay. Any comments?
Scene 1, your focus wasn't towards each other at all.
Uh-huh.
You had your lines off in the space, he had his lines off in the space.
Right.
And the next one, you were really facing each other, really bouncing off of each other. And
Okay.
Really more of a dialogue.
Okay.
Or it had more of a dialogue feel. And the
Yeah.
last one was very physical. A lot of
Contact.
Yeah, very
Okay.
physical contact.
Good. Did you find the later 2 a little more interesting, or they're both all fine, but was it a little wilder? Okay, the game was, in game 1 we just stood on stage and didn't make contact visually. Game 2, eye contact. People don't look at each other that much. When they do, there's something happening. If I'm looking at you, powerful. You don't usually look at people that much in daylight, checking in and out, eye contact, hello, hello. Someone looks at you, it's like, it's a big thing happening. It's a big connection, it's big communication. It shows a commitment to each other when you look at each other. When you're over here like this, it was okay for 2 lovers who were like missing their girlfriends to actually fit really well. But when we looked at each other, all of a sudden there was excitement. We were really interested in these girls. Then the third game was we're going to make physical contact somehow every time we talk. So it's a little weird because you're talking about lovers and you're going to show how they, love each other. But it can happen other ways. We're doing shoveling and go, wait a minute, now come on, look this shovel, come on, like this, okay, fine.
I never do it like this. I do it over the head like that, you know.
Well, look out, look out.
Whoa! Get down.
Wait, listen, I'll protect you. Okay, so.
Get up!
Okay, so the point is, what most people do, this is physical contact. Physical contact is extremely thrilling off stage for the audience because no one ever touches anybody. These are 2 guys. Oh, guys, don't touch each other. But there might be situations in which they would. I carried him across here. Okay, I'm showing how this girl fainted in my arms. And I'm tactile. I can't explain. I have to show it. Okay, or he's going to save me or says, get off my back or something. Okay, there's lots of times when you touch each other. But if you do touch each other on stage, the audience goes nuts. Because when people touch each other, something important is happening. In real life, how many times are we actually in physical contact? Okay? Wait a minute, let me see, let me get up there.
Okay, here you go.
Okay,
Listen, can
Wait,
you
wait.
see all right?
yeah,
here
wait, don't
we
move,
go.
oh, wait. Wait.
Okay.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, so, right, okay, situation. There's something happening when you're in physical contact. There's something happening when you're looking at each other. Something happening, okay? Let's try this. We're all gonna do it at once. I want you to pick a partner. I'll give you characters. We're all gonna do a little scene. We'll all be making noise at once. It won't matter. We'll all do this. Up, up. Okay? Your first assignment is gonna be assignment number 1. And assignment number 1 is assignment number 1 is you're going to, when you speak, you look at the person in the eye. When you talk about an object, you look at the object. Nice horse. I love this little horse. Isn't it cute? I love it.
Very cute.
Okay, I did ask a question, but so what? So, the point is that look at the person,
Sorry.
look at the object. Look at the person, look at the object. This creates reality. You two are your nuclear physicists, okay? And you are grading papers with some students, okay? You two are principals from junior high school, and just principals, and you're meeting and you're having lunch together, okay? And you two are fleas, and you live on the same dog. Okay? So please, and eye contact, start with every time you...
talk?
Yeah, go ahead and talk. Start. Okay?
Good.
Yeah, there sure is. I mean,
This hair right here.
Yes.
That I'm about ready to climb
Okay,
up.
at first, I want to.
Nobody's never been on it, so we can't throw them away. They're
Yeah,
really good.
that's a great hair, man. I'm gonna climb up that hair right now.
What should we do?
I heard from
Well, just, it has to be at least one.
Go and get some of those.
I know the Americans are much more stupid than we are, but, we need to give them something.
No, we heard there's a
Oh,
great
yeah,
view up there.
okay.
Especially around
Okay,
sunset.
calculator.
Look out from
Okay,
there.
look it up.
You can see all the way
So,
to the
geez.
next room sometimes.
What
Wow,
we're gonna
maybe
do.
there's some other dogs over there. Yeah, let's go
Did you
for
get
it.
Even if we do it on external.
Okay, freeze.
Oh, no.
Good. Now,
We're great
Stand up.
fleas.
stand up.
We
They
were
had
born
fun.
to be
Fleas.
fleas.
Born to be fleas. Okay? One challenge is an improv. It can be tough when you sit down. It can be tough when you stand up. But if you sit down, you can be
We
rooted
need a desk.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to give you some new characters. You are fleas on a dog. You are nuclear physicists grading papers. You're your professors. And you are, what were you?
Junior high school principal.
Junior high school principal.
No, we were, physicists.
They're
Yeah, no,
nuclear
you're,
Oh, they are now.
you're the,
So we're principals.
so now what's happening is,
Eating lunch.
it's exercise number 2. This time you have to find an excuse to be in physical contact every time you talk. You don't have to talk all the time. But if you do, you have to be in physical contact. So find a reason. It can be any reason. And try and get beyond just, patting.
Stay the head.
Okay? Try and get beyond patting each other and find an excuse. There's got to be a reason. Earthquake, anything can happen. Okay?
We can make it over the flea
4:30.
collar. We can get over the flea collar.
Oh my goodness! Another 100 meters.
Get it?
Flying out of your mouth.
You can get up on my.
Incredible.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm
Well,
better.
it's not
I'm better,
good.
yeah.
Look better. Look better.
Okay, calm down. Borrow my. Borrow my.
Right here?
Almost like the one student I
Watch
had.
out, there's a
They
dog
jump
that's
together. Go.
trying
I'm hungry.
to grab your
I'm
food.
hungry.
I'm a food
Eat now. Let's have lunch.
It's almost
And then
like
I'll
one
jump.
student I had.
Okay.
She just came up to me.
But it's
and
a
she
nicer
just
afternoon pen made.
Oh, man.
Just like the Heimlich
Right,
maneuver.
Really?
I had the Heimlich maneuver dinner.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you
Lifts
wanna fight
everything
about
up
this?
there.
The black dogs are always on.
Yeah, well, I'll
Oh,
tell you, that's
hey,
the
hey.
wonderful thing that you did.
Great. Good. Okay. Have a seat. Thank you. Okay, we're going to conclude here. And this was called,
It's a great scene.
this is called contact. Okay, so to summarize today's lesson, we experimented with different kinds of space, moving through space, and using that space, we'll try and stabilize that. We talked about creating characters, that they moved in different space, and they have different kind of momentum, different kind of rhythm. These are actors' tools we can use sometimes going on stage. You can decide, I'm going to have a staccato, I'm going to have a legato, I'm going to have molding the space, I'm going to have different ways of using your body, the instrument of the body, okay? Then we also had creating objects, giving space reality, space substance, creating a who, where, and a what. The what we don't want to get from the audience. We want you to create the what. Just now, you did a game called Contact. In Contact, you see how vivid it is? Did you notice? When you make eye contact, you're connected. When you make physical contact, it's crazy. Look at the stuff that comes out. In order to justify physical contact, amazing stuff comes out. And that's what entertains the audience. Why are you making contact? I don't know why. I'm just going to find a reason. I'm going to hug you, I'm going to fall down, it's going to be an earthquake, something. That's the stuff that the audience laughs at. How could you think of that? You say, don't ask me that. I had my objective, to make contact. It's exactly what I told you at the beginning of the day in the first lesson. Have a focus. The focus in this particular game was make physical contact every time you talk. That is a powerful focus. Makes a powerful scene. When you're on stage, these become scene rules. If your scene is dying, find an object, use an object, look at somebody, make physical contact. These are tools you can use to make your scene happen. Okay? If you're like standing here, talking heads, feign on somebody. Do something. Get big, get physical. Physical is real important on stage. Okay? So that's a summary. Let's meet tomorrow at 11 a.m. Let's do another class. And thanks. Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's hammer down.